Good morning. It is pretty early yet in the morning, and I got the boys all hooked up early because it's been such a hot summer. Trying to get, this is my sacrifice field, trying to get some of the grasses cut. We've had a real season of heavy rain here in the summer of 25. And I wanted to show you something that I emphasized before with my Sickle Bar mower. The horses are doing good, they're sprayed up, but it's still in the 60s this morning. So I try to take advantage of these cooler mornings to work my horses. The summer's just really tough on them. The green heads are out. The horse flies will be here in a week or so, and it's just kind of miserable working them when they're bucking in their traces and things of that nature, and they're uncomfortable and it's just not enjoyable. Anyhow, this is the number 7 McCormick Deeren Sickle Bar mower, and if you saw one of my videos before, I have a tongue truck on it, and a gentleman rebuilt this for me some time ago. And the only reason I have the Sickle Bar mower is to maintain fields. I cut that field out there last week on a cool morning, and I'm taking advantage of this cool morning to cut the sacrifice field here. This is the winter sacrifice field, and the transition is just incredible. These are some good annual grasses that the horses will eat, and the sheep will graze these. But come winter, you know, if you look out in this field in January, it's all mud and it's just all beat up. And of course, I don't let the horses out in the other fields through the winter season, because if anything, a horse is the worst on pastures with their big feet. They just make big holes and divots in the fields and really rip them up. All right, what I want to try to emphasize again in the Sickle Bar mower is on the off position, always when I get off. Generally speaking, when you run a Sickle Bar mower, you generally have a stick with you because it always gets jammed up. Now, let me try to get these grasses off of here. Now you can see, if you can see, I have, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, this Sickle Bar cutter blades about 8 inches off a grade. So this Sickle Bar mower is designed to lay flat on the grass and to cut it within 2-3 inches off of the surface of the dirt. I have the Sickle Bar mower raised up with a wheelbarrow wheel and an adjustment I made and fabricated to hold the center up, so the whole Sickle Bar mower is level, about 8 inches off grade. What this is allowing me to do, okay, is to cut the grasses with the morning dew. You can generally never use a Sickle Bar mower when the grasses are wet, because they will jam up and you get all frustrated. You got to lift up the blade and such. But with this mower raised above the ground, it's what we would call self-cleaning. And as it goes through the grasses, it's not going to cut right down on the ground. It's going to cut 8 inches up off the grade, and it's going to get into kind of the stemmy stalks of the grasses as well, which is easier for the mower to cut. And I'll do a little demonstration here, cutting the last bit of this grasses with the camera here. But with this all raised up 7 to 8 inches, the grasses get cut and they just fall below it, and it doesn't jam up the Sickle Bar mower, which gives me the opportunity to work the horses in the morning, in the coolness of the morning when we get them. And we do get them, you know, like every 7-10 days we'll get a cooler day. And it gives me opportunity to work these guys in the coolness of the morning rather than in the heat of the day, which I don't care to do, and they really don't care to do either, right, Rocky? Now, however, these horses have worked many times in the heat of the day, and sometimes that's required because that's when you have to get things done. So I just wanted to show that to you again. And it's pretty neat watching the grasses fall as the mower goes through the grasses, and not get jammed up. It's just a real treat, because it's one of the most frustrating things when you run a sickle bar mower, that you're stopping every 4 to 5 minutes to clean out the cutter bar. Okay, we will get back to work. Okay, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. I don't have anybody here to help me with the camera, and I'm going to show you how well the sickle bar mower works in these tall grasses. They're very tall and they're drenched with dew. Okay, boys, step up. Step, step. Okay, okay. And as I'm going through here where there's no grass, you can see how the grass is just going to fall off of that bar. So as hey G, step G. As I maintain the fields, there's always going to be bare. As I was saying, whenever I maintain my pastures, I'm not cutting this for hay, right? I'm just maintaining it. There's always going to be some bare spots in between when I'm cutting, and that gives the grasses opportunity to fall to the ground as well. Now, it will self-clean even going through the thick grasses for a long period of time. I haven't jammed up once this morning, but it does have good opportunity to even clear itself 100% when we're not going through any grasses. Okay, I'm going to put this phone down because it doesn't work very well one-handed here. Maybe we can give you a little tour of Sweetwater here sometime in the very, very near future. It's a little shed here I have for the ewes in the winter. And I'm going to cut all these grasses here underneath the cedar. And the sickle bar mower will get right underneath them cedars with the horses to the left of the bar, of course. And that would be my next little field to cut right in here. All right. I'll see you again back here at Sweetwater. Until then, have a great week.